episode 1 of Northern Ruckus. New podcast with your boy Jimbo and
TJ.
Yes, sir. So let's get into it, man. We had a couple of technical difficulties the first couple episodes, but we got it all wrinkled out now. We're going to get straight into it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what we were talking about before was we talked about before your boxing match, after your boxing match, and now we're a week out of the boxing match. So why would you start from the beginning and tell us what made you get into boxing and all that shit after music?
I mean, for me, it wasn't like, oh, like now that I'm not making music, I want to go do this. Honestly, boxing was something I always wanted to do, and I just never really fell into it. But as soon as I walked into the boxing gym, I was hooked. I walked in about 8 months ago. I started sparring about 6 months ago. And really, I would say it really didn't kick off until I started sparring. Because before that, it's all just in your head. But once you start sparring, it's really, you really get to, get into it, see what you're made of, see if it's for you or not, right? And I love it. And then now I had my first fight. It was a close one, man. I wish I could sit here and say I won, but when you leave it up to the judges, it's out of your hands, man. It was a close fight.
I was there, and like the whole setup, the way that they ran the event, just 3 rounds, 2 minutes each. It's like for a guy that fights the way you do, where you don't have the knockout power necessarily, you can't really put in an effort because like everybody thought you won. Even like the other coach came up to you and said,
"Nigga said I don't have knockout power. I had knockout power. I knocked him out, but he fell into me. Even after the fight, he said to me, he said, "Hey, bro, like you were hitting me hard. I was holding on for dear life because you had me out on my feet a couple times."
Yeah, but the judges really fucked that one up. Like that's why you can't. Like they always say, no lead up to the judges, and you learned that on your very first fight.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm around a lot of boxers a lot with experience and shit. And like one of my boys told me, shout out to Sam. He said, bro, sometimes you're gonna think that you won and they're gonna say you lost. And sometimes you're gonna be like, I don't know if I won that one. You're gonna be questioning yourself and they're gonna say you won. So in amateur boxing, the judges are amateurs too. You don't gotta take it too personally. My whole thing is I like to go out there, compete. I love fighting. It's fun as fuck. It's like, bro, it's like going and doing some basketball runs. It's like you're not gonna stop playing basketball if you lose, right? I feel like sometimes with fighting, some niggas take it personal because it's like it's real one-on-one type shit. But it's like, bro, this is, if it's what you do and what you love to do, you're not gonna let nothing stop you, right?
Oh, for sure. Like I'm an athlete myself, but I've never done an individual sport, and like the toll that I could see it take on people when they lose and when they win, it's way different than a team event. Mm-hmm. Like a team, you win together, you lose together. So technically, sometimes you can lose a game where you played nice and you still walk away from the game feeling good.
Yeah.
But losing a fight, no matter even if you think you won, you're never gonna feel good about that shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to feel good when the judges didn't see what I saw, right? But it's like, just like you said, it's like even sometimes in team sports, you get the dub and you'll be like, it's whatever. I didn't do all that, right? So it's just like it's really all on you, and it's a new thing for me to learn. Because when I lost, like I thought I won. To be honest, I went and I shook the trainer's hands. I said, "Hey, man, you guys." Good fight, man. I really thought I won. I was feeling nice.
Bro, especially because the last round, the nigga didn't even throw a punch once.
Yeah.
Like, he was literally just trying to survive. Like, you were fucking his shit up. So, it's like momentum plus that, but then the judges gave the round 2, which was a questionable round. Like, you probably won it.
The round 2 was the one that was close.
Like, and I even argue like you can do a 10-8 in the third round because the guy did not throw a punch. You're literally just getting his ass beat for 3 minutes. Or 2
exactly.
minutes, whatever.
But a lot of times they'll give you a 9-8 unless you scored a knockdown. The knockdowns will gives you the extra to the 10, right? So it's all a learning experience, man. And I learned so much in that first fight. And what a lot of people say is, hey, you learn more from a loss than a win. If I would have won, I would have just been cocky. I was like, I got this in the bag. I probably would have lost the next fight. Now I'm just trying to just keep working, right?
I would make the argument that only losers say that a loss makes you win. But
I never said makes you win. I said you get better from a loss than you get from a win.
So you're saying Floyd would have been better if he lost?
No, but I'm saying Floyd never tested himself. If we're gonna get into deep talks like that,
so we're saying Floyd is not the greatest.
Of all time, no. He's the greatest at what he did, right? Money Mayweather, and he's one of the greatest boxers of all time for sure, 50-0. But you can't tell me that he's better than Muhammad Ali because Muhammad Ali has 5 losses on his record. That's not how it works.
I think the argument from Muhammad Ali goes just bigger than sports.
It's bigger than sports,
but if you want to talk about the sport itself,
Muhammad Ali took a stand in his prime, right? Yeah. That put him in jail for 3.5 years. In those 3.5 years, think about what he would have accomplished.
That's very true.
And he wouldn't have had to box for 3.5 years past his prime like how he had to. He was boxing when he was an old man when he shouldn't have been boxing no more.
I agree with that.
Because he had to recoup that money that he lost out on.
Floyd also never took an L, so.
Yeah, but if you're always just chasing the fights that you know you're gonna win, I could do that myself. I like look, my first fight was against a dude. He was in his fifth fight.
Yeah.
I could have said to my trainer, nah, I wanna fight a dude who's in his first fight too.
Yeah,
I would have
give
for
me a
sure
scrub.
won.
Give me a
Yeah.
scrub. Give me a free dub.
Yeah, I would have
Post
for
a
sure
clip.
won. But why do I want to do that? I wanted to see what I was made of, and I found out real quick that it's not pretty in there. I thought I was gonna go into a pretty boxing match. We were gonna be ha 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 ha, but it was like a brawl. It was like rah, 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 rah. Everything was rough. I was like, man, this nigga's trying to hurt me, bro. Relax. So I had to go back and hurt him, you know. So it is what it is. It was all an adjustment, right?
Bro, it was all fun too, bro. The vibes in the crowd are crazy. All the niggas
Yeah.
pulled up. We were just
Yeah.
going nuts.
Yeah.
It was a fun time. It was a fun night.
Yeah, it was crazy in there. It was loud as fuck.
But yeah, seeing you a week later after that, it's actually really good to see your attitude up, your vibe up. You didn't really like that loss never hit you too hard.
Yeah,
And
and
it still has you motivated to go back into the gym, get ready for the next one type shit.
even with that, bro, I would say that's growth from boxing. Cause like I said, when I first started sparring, I was green as fuck. I only been training for 2 months and I started sparring, and I went through some rough days sparring, like where niggas were cracking me and shit. And like I'm real competitive. I like to win and shit. So a lot of times in the past, I will say I shied away from certain things because I only like to do shit that I'm good at, and that's how I got into rap because I was just so good at it. I just did it. I didn't even necessarily love it that much, but niggas just like, yo, you're so good at that, you should do it. So I ran with it, right? But it's like with the boxing thing, it's like, yo, I want to be good at it, and I want to do it. So sometimes you got to go through those rough days to get to where you want to be at, and it's just like, man, sometimes taking those lumps, it makes you a better man. Because I'm like, bro, it's not always about winning and losing. You definitely want to get to a place in your life where you're winning all the time. But you're not going to get to that place if you don't go through the losses sometimes or go through the tough times. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. I was just talking shit.
Oh, no, I know. It's all,
trolling.
bro. Even people at home be trolling and shit, and it's funny. It's funny to laugh at shit, bro. Like I got my ass beat, ha ha ha. Like it's funny, like you know. It's just once you get past that little laughter and shit, and you start talking about real shit and real life shit, that's what really matters. You know?
I agree with that. All right, so this podcast, what we're gonna be talking about mostly is gonna be our lives, obviously, because like we're living it. But also what's happening in like the hip hop culture, in the news in general, and like just different headlines that we see and we want to talk about. So I'm gonna throw this headline at you, Jimmy. Do you think Gunna snitched?
Gunna snitched? I just think like he didn't stay solid. That word is just getting overused. The whole snitching thing. Like snitching is when you get caught up doing something with someone and you say, "Oh, you guys think it happened like that?" No, this is how it happened, and
Well,
you
is
tell
that
the
not
whole
what he
story.
did? Because he took a plea deal.
What he did was he said, "YSL is a gang and they need to be stopped," and it's a whole RICO trying to figure out if YSL is a gang or a record label. So technically, you say he ratted, he snitched or whatever. I think just what he did more than anything was just not be a good friend to someone who helped him change his life. And he didn't stay solid for a nigga that he should have stayed solid for. Let's just break it down simply like that. I don't like to get into the whole trendy calling guys rats and he's a snitch, and I don't know the ins and outs, and I'm not gonna go and look into the ins and outs. But from what I could see, he's just not staying solid.
Well, like if you're coming from the perspective of like Thugger, right? Thugger's in there, he's getting charged for all these things because he's like listed as the leader of the gang. How can you argue then, like if he's the leader of the gang and they're trying to figure out if this is a gang or not, and all charges are gonna fall, assumingly, on the leader of said gang. If he's out here taking a plea deal saying, yeah, they are a gang, and I'm assuming, again, just assumptions, that if he took this plea deal, he's going to have to speak against Thug in court or against the gang in general in court, a part of the plea deal if they end up going to trial.
See, that's what I'm saying. That I can't speak on that because that's speculation, right? If that happens, then I will have to say he's a rat. If he takes a stand and snitches, yeah, everybody could say he's a rat, right? But as it stands, it's just not staying solid, right? But also too, it's just like you gotta look at that RICO thing. It's like, bro, they don't want guys like Gunna. They don't want guys like Unfunk and all these guys around Young Thug. They want Young Thug because if I'm sure one of these guys is solid enough to say, bro, if you want me to take the rap for this, I'll take the rap. I'll say I was the leader and all that.
I always thought
they're not
that,
going for that. They're not going for that. They're not hearing that. They're building up the case to make it. They're trying to get rid of Young Thug.
That's what I never understood because like all these niggas, like these celebrities, like they keep getting caught up like in stupid petty crimes and shit. And it's like I never understood why they don't have like these niggas that like they're boys that are always just there, like a part of their entourage and shit. Aren't those niggas supposed to just like fall on the sword in situations like that? Because like if he's putting bread on your table, your family's table, like if he's about to get in, like not even so. For example, like I don't know if you remember, but like 3, 4, maybe longer than that, like 5 years ago, Joel and B got in a street fight, and all his niggas were just standing around watching it.
No,
I'm
I don't
just
remember that.
like Joel Embiid was beating up a white guy who looked little, obviously compared to Joel Embiid.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm just like, yo, if I'm one of his niggas that were there, they were standing like just standing there just watching, not even stopping
you
it.
gotta step
You
in.
have to like grab Joel Embiid and then beat the nigga up yourself, so Joel Embiid doesn't keep wilding out.
100%.
And take the charge. Let's say you get a year in jail or like a big ass fine. Embiid pays that shit for you because you're doing this for him, and then he doesn't get the bad media, and he still feeds the people because those niggas are watching.
This is the thing, though, bro. That's what logic says. And even if you look at a lot of situations, logically, people don't even act how they want to. The fear takes over, and they be acting out of fear and shit like that. Or some niggas just don't really step up to the plate like that. Joel Embiid made it to the NBA because he's the type to step up to the plate. His boys did not make it to the NBA because they're not cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, but you see so many of that, like that same situation where it's like,
these
guys, like I get they're your friends and like they have their own life, but it's like if the meal ticket is about to get himself in trouble, protect the meal ticket at all costs. 100%. Even if you're not the bodyguard, you're not paid bodyguard.
100%. That should
protect
be the concept. But that's why, too, it comes down to, like, is it organized crime? Because RICO is a whole thing against organized crime. And it's like, if it's all going through Young Thug, is it that organized?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, right?
No, it's
Another
true.
thing, too, to comment on is, like, bro, Young Thug, his music is very successful. And if he were to just live off his music, he could definitely take care of himself, his children, and, like, let's say his mom, his dad, his brother. You know what I'm saying? But for him to take care of all the niggas around him, I guess he felt like he had to build up this whole big empire that helps niggas have different ways of making money and shit. So a lot of what he's going down for is actually for trying to help out these same people who are going to be the same people who drag him down. And that's the crazy part, why a lot of people say you don't need to do all that, because you're trying to boss up and you're trying to put on for everybody, but everybody's not going to put on for you when the going gets tough, right?
No, I agree with that for sure, because it's like, I don't know the ins and outs of this YSL case, but it's
exactly,
like,
yeah, it's all speculation.
It's like I don't know how much organized crime went into the quote unquote gang, but then it's like you can also bring back that Dave Chappelle joke that he just had about Kanye, where it's like, get a group of white Italians, it's a mob. Get a group of black people, it's a gang. Get a group of Jews, and that's just a coincidence.
Yeah,
like that
get a group of white guys, and it's white supremacy. Yeah,
get that, like, take that joke from its root. It's like, this is a group of black guys. Like, are they a gang? Like, I don't understand the ins and out of it. Like, I'm not too deep in it. I just see this gun and shit. I find it hilarious, but I don't know too much of the ins and outs of if it's a gang or not, or is it just a group of black people that are organizing together, criminally or not, like, and they just consider that unsafe.
Yeah, right. Like, just a bunch of niggas that are on some fuck shit, but they're not going taking orders and shit like that.
Like,
yeah.
The fact that, like,
bro,
like, even if Young Thug is the leader of said YSL, like, if he's a positive leader, they clearly don't want that shit in the community.
If they could throw a RICO at Farrakhan, they would. That's why he 100%. Makes sure that all his peoples are not on that, right? But like, bro, it's crazy because if you look at it, if a black kid goes and shoots up his block and hits 5 people on a drive-by, they're not gonna call it a mass shooting. They're gonna call it gang-related, right?
Where'd you hear that from?
From you. And I actually had to stop and think about it for a while. As much as I didn't want to acknowledge it at the time, it's like, damn, that shit is kind of funny.
Yeah,
like,
bro, because I remember we had a full-on argument in the group chat with the boys, and you were saying how, like, all mass shootings are done by white people. I'm like, nigga, like, Google right now. I was just like, this is what I said. I was like, Google right now, shooting in Chicago this weekend. And I guarantee you, it was a random weekend. I was like, I guarantee you'll find an article about X amount of kids shot.
Yeah.
And it's like, he did it.
With that is that the whole gang things comes, then is gang motivated.
Exactly.
With a lot of these mass shooters, it's hate motivated. Well, but hold on for a second. If we really look at the gang motivated shit, is it not hate motivated?
Yeah.
And that's 100%. Why you got to look at a little deeper sometimes into it. It's like, bro, are they trying to program us to hate each other so we can kill each other? And it could just be, it's our own little section. It's like, that's all gang activity. Because even I know when my homie died, R.I.P. Cozy, they really try to paint it out like it was gang activity. And I know, this is my best friend, I know he's not a gang member. He had nothing to do with nothing like that.
That's what I was
But just because he's black, that's what they're going to associate it as, you know?
I was about to say, it's like, everybody wants to say black kid died, black people died. It's like, that doesn't necessarily mean gang. That can be hate. Like, that can be a matter of like, yo, this guy backed my shorty, I'm gonna go kill him. Like, literally simple as that. Like, or just straight hate.
Even just dudes looking for stripes, looking for easy targets.
No,
you're walking down the wrong street, a group of guys pulls up on you,
100%.
End up shooting you because that kid wants to have a body under his belt, and you had nothing to do with anything. That type of stuff happens all the time too.
I don't know. I think it's crazy. Like, again, like, America has a big gun problem, but like, violence and criminalities everywhere. Like you see that shit in the UK, niggas getting stabbed all the time. In Canada, where we have zero gun rights, niggas getting shot all the time.
I was about to say though, in Canada, what's going on with all these random TTC attacks,
bro? That shit's nuts.
It's weird, right?
Yo, bro, like a fucking guy just got like. I saw a TikTok of this girl. It was like just a regular 20-year-old girl. She made a TikTok saying this is how you have to ride the TTC, and she's literally on the TTC platform hiding behind a pole because she's like, I don't want anybody, because it was an empty station. She's like, I don't want nobody knowing I'm here. Once the train pulls up, then I'll get in, because people are actually scared. Like, it shit's fucked.
Yeah, I'm wondering, bro, like, it's so random, and it's like the people who are doing the attacks, every time I see them, I'm like, this looks like a random person that no one would pay attention to.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, is it a cult of people who feel like forgotten part of society that are grouping up together and saying, let's go attack people?
Well, that's like the narrative, right? They always say that these people are incels, right? And I don't disagree with that.
The incel thing is a big thing, but a lot of the people who've been doing attacks are women.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like the last one that happened was a woman. It was like she was like a 38-year-old woman who went and attacked someone randomly. It's like, bro, it's weird. It's weird. And I understand that mental health is a big thing, but sometimes, like, bro, like when that Charles Manson shit was happening and they couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on, and when they got to the bottom of it, it was some weird manipulative shit that he was sending people to do weird shit. And to me, this feels like one of those situations. It's like, bro, no way all at once all these random people would start stabbing people on the TTC and in these public places and shit. I think the cops gotta start to put 2 and 2 together and dig deeper into this.
I think all this shit's real fucked up. Like all the violence in general on random people makes no sense. Like that shit's scary for a society. And it's like, if you see that that concept of the society wrinkle, then the foundations of the society itself will start falling, like one at a time.
Remember when the dude tried to cut the dude's head off on the go bus?
No, I never heard about this.
Yeah, he had like a hacksaw type shit, and he tried to cut a dude's whole head off. Like that random shit, bro. That's the scariest shit, because you just be anywhere and someone just loses their mind, and it's like, how you gonna be prepared for that? Like, you know?
Nah, for sure.
And you fear for like your mom, you feel for your sister, like your aunt.
But then that also goes into like the concept of like people reacting off of fear is never sensible, right? So whenever you make a decision that's fear motivated, it's almost always going to be the wrong decision.
Let's say you get a security camera for your house based off of fear. Is that wrong?
No. I'm saying like when you take like for example, right? So let's say for my nephew, for example, he lives like less than a kilometer away from his school, but because he like lives downtown, his mom doesn't trust him to walk to school by himself. That's fear motivated. Like, you know what I mean? That's not the right decision. So it's like, she has to wake up every morning and take him to school when, for example, when I was in school, I used to walk almost 2 kilometers to school by myself.
Yeah.
It's like the freedom that you have as kids. It's like, if you look at your history of like when you were like, let's say 12 years old, compared to your daughter's history when she was 12 years old, like now, like the way
my daughter's 9.
Oh, sorry. 9, whatever. Same thing. It's like, that doesn't matter. Like, it's like the way you were treated compared to the way you treat them is night and day because of fear. And it is like for example, something that I used to do as a friend, like with my friends when I was like my nephew's age now, 12, 13 years old. I used to get on my bike, not knowing the city of Toronto, look at the CN Tower and bike down to the CN Tower. Like just literally by just looking up every once in a while whenever we see it and just bike straight down. I spend out the day. It was like 3-4 of us, and then we bike back. And it's like we didn't even know where we were going and shit. We had no phones. We had none of that.
You are right, bro, but it's different eras. Like this internet shit is making everybody weird as fuck, bro.
No, it does. It makes people a lot more weird and the weird people more brave. But then it's also like
it's just the weirdos you gotta watch out for. Especially my daughter. My daughter is beautiful, bro. And like if she had an older brother walking with her, okay, cool. Because I remember when I was 9, I used to walk to school, but with my older sister. Like, you know, I didn't start to walk to school by myself until I was like 11, 12, 13. And even then, I'm a boy. And I was always kind of like, I wouldn't say brolic, but I wasn't no little 12-year-old. I was
a little nigga now. What the fuck you talking about?
I'll still fuck you up, and I'll still fuck you up. But I'm saying though, like if anyone was to try to snatch me, it wouldn't be worth it for them. I'd be putting up a fight and this, that. Why do you want a little black boy for, right?
No, I feel that. I just find it weird, though.
Typical
it's like,
type shit.
It's like the amount of freedoms we had. Like that's what created, like that's what shaped my childhood. And it's like now I see it getting eroded in the next like culture because of all these fucking weirdos on the bus. Like again, if I see that, like I'm not blaming any parents. I understand. I just find it weird. But like, if I see a headline of this guy randomly goes on the bus and stabs 3 people, hell no, I don't want to send my kid on that fucking bus.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like that shit's fucked up. But
and even bro, even growing up like on the TTC shit, like bro, I seen a lot of weird shit on the CTC. Like growing up, like grade 9, walk onto the subway, and this homeless dude was jerking off in front of a woman, bro,
Yeah.
like right in her face. And I'm looking around like, I literally, as a kid, I just looked around to see if there was other grown men there, and there was like 7, 8, 9, 10 grown men, but in their suits, coming from work, don't want to be involved. They all look uncomfortable, but they don't want to be involved. And me, as a fucking 13-year-old boy, I had to go and confront the homeless man and stop jerking off in this lady's face.
Nah,
it's like, bro, that shit
trust
threw
me.
me off.
It's
That,
different.
I couldn't go sit down while this nigga is jerking off in front of the girl's face. What the fuck? And that's the type of shit you be seeing, bro.
Society's fucked, bro. Like, look at me. Pulled up something. Scroll up. Right there, like it says, the headline of this says TTC riders staff set on fire, stabbed and swarmed in wave of violence. Like, bro, what the fuck kind of headline is that? Like
set niggas on fire.
That was one day ago,
bro. Setting niggas on fire is crazy. Like, unless that man like did something to someone you love, why are you setting them on fire, bro?
Set on fire, stabbed, and swarmed. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's hate. And swarmed means there's more than one person involved. How you not see your nigga doing some shit like that and be like, hey, chill out, bro.
Bro, mom mentality, bro. Society's fucked nowadays, bro.
Yeah.
But then there's so much fuck shit that, like, this is what I'm so confused about. Like, there's so much fuck shit going on in the world, and like, I feel like it's getting so amplified with news, but it's also amplified in the good sense because like you hear fucked up stories that you're like, hey, wait a second. So like, I don't know if you heard about this. This is going on in like LSU, the University of Louisiana right now, where it's Have you seen that? What's that the documentary about the black kids? And then Trump was on it saying like, these guys are animals, blah, blah, blah. It's on Netflix. It's like When They See Us or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's like these 4 black kids were accused of.
I don't actually subscribe to a lot of that shit.
No. So it's like
a lot of that shit I don't really watch because I feel like it's trying to divide.
No, but it's so fucked because it's like we want to say we teach history so we don't make the mistakes of our past, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then this whole documentary is about these 4 black kids that were accused of raping this woman in the park.
So, yeah.
And then like even like so like it was a big media thing.
Oh, so this is retro Trump we're talking about.
So this is old.
Okay,
So this is like a documentary that's on Netflix now. So
yeah, I seen parts of it, but
that's
that shit's heartbreaking, bro.
It's heartbreaking because it's crazy.
Getting framed. I'm like, I'm not watching this shit.
Okay,
bro.
but then that's what I'm saying. So right now, this exact same situation, essentially, like to what my knowledge at least, I should say because I don't know all the facts.
Yeah,
it's happening again right now.
At LSU?
Yeah, so apparently this is what happened. So there's like video of they pulled up the cameras from like the bar and shit, but like apparently these 4 kids come into the bar. There's 2 of them are 18, one's 17, and one's 28. I don't know where the fuck the 28-year-old came from. They go into a college bar. This girl also is in the college bar. They're all drinking and shit.
Hold on. Save it. Bro, when you're 28, hanging out with 3 niggas that are 18
and 17 at a college bar, bro.
I'm telling you, young niggas watch out for that shit. Because you be young, be like, yeah, I'm cool, bro. My nigga, he's like, bro, you don't want to be hanging out with that dude, bro. You don't hang out with that dude, bro.
When I heard that, I was like 18, 17, 28. What the fuck?
Yeah. I have young homies, but like I'll be like mentoring them or like we might hop on like PlayStation or something. But my nigga, we're not going to no bar. Like,
bro,
unless it's his birthday and we're trying to take him and show him something. But even then, I'm not going out with a bunch of his friends. I'm taking the little nigga. We're gonna go out with me and my friends. Like, what are you talking about? Hanging out with 3 18-year-olds?
So then they go to the bar, or whatever. They're drinking. They're having a good time. And then they start hitting on this one girl, and the girl's drunk too. It's like a pretty blonde girl, like your classical like Southern Belle or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So then apparently this is what happened. So they all like convinced the girl to come back with them. They go to the car.
I know where the story's going on.
So no, it's fuck. It's like the weirdest story ever, and it's happening literally right now. So then the 17-year-old and the 18-year-old apparently they both back the shorty each, like separately in the back of the car. But like the girls fully consent, like they say, the guy 18-year-old said he asked the girl at least 5 times, and she's like, I'm down, whatever.
Can I take a stab at where this is going?
No,
the 28-year-old nigga is mad that he wasn't involved, and he makes it into a rape type thing. Like he's getting too much. Like, hey, you gonna fuck with my niggas? You gotta fuck with me too. I swear that's where this is going.
I swear that nigga would be a weirdo then. Nah, that's not where it goes.
That's where them loser niggas take it.
So this is where the left turn comes. So then the girl, they start videotaping after they do their thing or whatever. They start videotaping it, not the act, but like the girl. And apparently they're like mocking, they're laughing at the girl like this, like, and the girl's just like like playing along,
immature shit,
some immature shit, like 18-year-old shit you're supposed to do when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
So then this girl's like, all right, well I'm gonna go, let me out. So she gets out of the car, goes. Apparently she calls an Uber and she gets hit by a different car while she's standing on the side of the road and dies.
Oh,
all right, so take this in. So like these two guys had intercourse with this girl. And then this girl goes out.
The worst about the 28-year-old.
So this girl goes out, dies in a completely separate manner. Not even with these people, like not in their quote unquote care. Like she's drunk, she's on the road, she fell in front of the car or something. I don't know exactly how it happened, but she died from a random hit and run. The coroner of the state, Louisiana, saw that she had semen in her body and said, "Oh, with the semen plus her alcohol level, this hatch will have been raped." And now these two kids are being convicted of rape, and in the state of Louisiana, rape is a life sentence.
Yeah.
So how fuck? So we see when we see us,
and they eager to lock up niggas down there.
And they even have like they show the video of the girl like fully conscious, not like she's drunk, yeah, but she's fully conscious and aware when like after the fact. So it's not like she's like passed out like some. Like an actual like
it's super messed up. And the annoying thing is like, bro, it feels like these days if that shit doesn't go viral, like no justice will be
exactly
served.
So like that's what I'm saying.
Going viral is the only way that you get treated like
that's the only reason I brought it up. It's like because we always say like the news is so negative, but like when you see injustices like this, it's like, yo, you need to gaslight the fuck out of this to make sure that like obviously we only get the like this is the like there could be more to the situation, but the baseline of this is outrageous. Yeah. Oh, fucking outrageous.
Yeah. No, that is outrageous.
And it's like that's why I said when you see us, when they see me or whatever, the documentary, it's exactly about this. Like
I'm just imagining the corner. This is nigger semen. This is nigger semen.
Like it's actually like niggas.
This ain't no white man semen. This is rape.
LSU rape case or something.
But even then, you gotta ask: is it racially motivated? Because he didn't know that it's two black guys, right?
No. Well,
he didn't know that. It's not like he knows the difference.
Look at the kids.
No, I feel you, but he didn't know based off the semen that it's.
But maybe that's why they're pushing the case so hard now because it's like a pretty white girl and then.
Oh yeah. This will grab headlines.
Yeah,
it's polarizing because you know white people, a lot of racist white people will see that shit like them niggers raped her.
Yeah, but that's kind of like what it is, right? So it's like a public lynching in a sense, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So like, but it's like nobody even accused of rape except for the coroner, which is fucked.
Yeah,
they're getting charged for life on something that the accuser didn't even accuse. Like obviously, she had opportunity.
We need to have a public conversation about that. Like, how drunk is too drunk? Because
a lot of people
like to get drunk and have sex.
That's a whole different story. Because it's like, yo, why?
That is another story right there. Though a lot of people like to get drunk to have sex. Like, they'll literally say, "I'm not drunk enough yet."
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, shorty will pull up and be like, "Yeah, you have anything to drink? Like, let's get loose."
Yeah, they like to get themselves loose. So how is that grounds to say someone got raped because they were having a good time? I don't understand.
Oh no, bro.
I sound terrible. Redact that from the record.
I just brought this up because it's like it is a deep, like a dark story, but it's like, bro, like the social ramifications of some shit like this, where it's like just getting out of control.
It sets precedent, right?
Bro, it's the niggas' lives. Like imagine,
yeah, that's
imagine you're 18 years old, right?
Yeah, you're young man.
Think about the stupid shit you did when you're 18, like batteries and.
But what about the 28-year-olds? Can't he be brought in as a witness?
No, the 28-year-old and the other 18-year-old that didn't back are getting arrested for third-party rape.
Oh my god,
which is crazy. Which is like 15 years.
Oh my god.
So it's like all of these niggas are going down. It's like. And it's like the judge, like when they brought the video up of the girl after, like the case started, and then the defendants, like the black man's lawyer, brought the video out showing that this girl was not like blackout drunk. She wasn't like over the top drunk.
Yeah.
They were like, the judge said this is more evidence against you guys because you guys are just mocking her. So it's like. They're laughing in the background, being fucking. It's like, yo, if you have like for example, like every nigga knows a Backstreet Shorty. Yeah, a Backstreet Shorty, you're goofing on it. If she doesn't respect herself, you're not gonna respect her type shit. Like, fuck you, eat.
It sounds immature because I'm not that type of nigga. But if
anymore,
if you and your friend do some crazy shit like that and you're laughing about it, it's kind of natural, right? Like, I don't. Sometimes I feel like the judge doesn't want to put themselves in your shoes. Like, you know, it's like, bro,
it is immature, but it's like
I'm young. And all these people talk about, the only thing they see me as is a piece of sexual meat, right? So I took that and I flipped that and I made that bitch a sexual meat. And me and my homie did that. And we were laughing about it because the tables had turned. Ha, 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 ha. But it's like, people don't want to hear that. Like, people don't want to understand that part of life. It's just like, bro, like, they were just laughing for one moment because they had a piece of time where it was just like,
bro, they had a fun night. It was
they probably felt on top of the world.
Bro,
they
like,
probably felt on top of the world.
Any guy would admit if something like that shit happened, like, you were having fun with your boys.
Yeah,
like,
your ego's
bro,
through the roof.
It's just like, I don't know. as an 18-year-old kid, putting myself in those shoes, it's like, yo, there's almost no. You're 18, you're probably a freshman in university. This is like your first time you're out on your own, living on your own life with a 28-year-old fucking guidance partner, whoever that nigga is. But like, bro, I just want to know who that nigga is, bro. That makes no sense.
I want to know what the core, because he was white. No,
I don't know.
It was the two young dudes you showed were
I think
black
one
guys.
I think one was a Mexican dude, and then the dreadhead was the next nigga. But it's like,
regardless, it's like, yo, where does that older nigga come into play?
Bro, you're out on your own for the first time. You're gonna do stupid shit. As a girl, the girl's gonna do stupid shit too, because they're gonna live in their best life. Like, you know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is. It's like it sounds like they were all having fun. But at the end of the day, condolences to her and her family, because it's super sad that
fucked up
that she passed away, and that all this is coming out only because she got hit by a car. And what about that person who hit her in the car?
It was a hit and run. They never even found them.
They never found them. How about we find that person?
You can't really find someone on a hit and run, right? But like,
there should be cameras everywhere. What do you mean?
Well, maybe that's a whole different case. I don't know. I don't want to speak too much on shit I don't know too much about.
Let's find the person responsible for killing her. How about we focus on that? Because that's the real issue at hand, is that she's dead. Yeah. If we're being real.
Well, a hit and run.
She could speak for herself if it wasn't for that.
A hit and run wouldn't be a life sentence, and this niggas are looking at life sentences, which is
Isn't that crazy too?
Crazy.
But we're saying that from the point of view where we think that they didn't
rape
her.
Yeah, exactly.
If you actually do rape somebody, yeah, you deserve.
I think rape is worse than murder.
Yeah, you should stay in jail for the rest of your life, because I don't understand that. Me personally, I don't understand that.
All right, well, let's switch it up to something more light, but on the same kind of topic. So there's this website called Tag Their Sponsor. So essentially what the website is these two guys, it's a group of guys, and they have a fake Instagram account, and it's like under the guise of a Dubai prince or a Saudi oil rich money like prince kind of guy. And he Instagrams all these he DMs all these Instagram models with like 2 mil, 5 mil Instagram followers and shit, and will ask them the craziest shit ever to see if they're willing to do it. It's just a full-on troll account, but these girls take them serious, and it's the funniest shit. So there was this one I was looking at, and
this is it?
This is the page. I don't know exactly what story it is, but like, these are all the girls. Like, you can see the girls, and you can pull up any other stories, and he'll say shit like, I think you're beautiful. They're talking in broken English too, right?
Off the top, bro, I was expecting it to be a lot of like super baddies, but bro, some of these bitches are basic as hell.
But they're like 2 mil followers and shit, like 500,000.
Some of them are like regular, like 20,000, 50,000. You should have hopped at that opportunity. You're ambitious.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I feel you.
So like this one situation, right? So this girl has like 2 million on Instagram, and the guy goes into her DM saying, I want you, blah blah blah. Like, I have money, name your price, I'd do anything. And the girl's talking him up, talking him sweet. Saying, it's not about money. I just want to see you. You seem like such a nice guy. He's talking to her.
She's after the big bag.
Bro, after the big
She's
bag.
after the big
So
bag.
then he's like, come over. He's like, what's your WhatsApp? So the conversation moves off of DMs to WhatsApp. And this guy's like, I want to do kinky shit with you, and I will pay no price, $10,000, no problem. And then the girl's like, what's your kinky shit? He's like, we'll talk about it later, but will you be willing? And the girl's like, it depends, blah blah blah, playing all cute and shit. And then the conversation goes, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna fly you out next weekend. And she's like, okay, I'm down, but can my friend come? And he's like, absolutely, no problem. 10,000 to her too, no problem.
Shit, okay.
So then, like, they came, and he's like, I need you to send me a video saying you consent to this, so it's for protection for me and you. So then she's like, okay, sends it like a 5-minute video. It's like, hey daddy, like, don't worry, blah blah blah.
That's
like,
right then is right when he got her.
Like,
that's right when he had her.
Bro, it's like the funniest video. And then,
you know what okay, advice for any females watching: you get into a situation like this, say, yo, I'm gonna give you a little free game to the bitches out there. Say, yo, send me a deposit first, because even in any type of business, that's what you do. If we're gonna get serious about this, show me some. You approach me.
Well, they haven't done nothing yet. They haven't done nothing yet.
Show me some money. Give me. You saying 10K?
Yeah.
Give me 2,000. Just show me you're serious, and then I'll do all that. Because money talks. Don't be doing all that, putting yourself all the way out there, and no money has been shown yet.
Yeah, so right after that video, he's like, oh, you're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Like, your friend needs to send me the video too, but, once you guys come, it's going to be such a good time. And then the girl brings it back up, like, you said something about fetish. Can I just know what that is? Because, like, I want to see if I'm willing to do it. I'm very open to a bunch, though.
Yeah,
And then the guy, no word of a lie, the guy says, it's not that crazy. I just need you to jerk off my camel. Bro, I saw that. I was like, yo, this girl has to, yo, you have to take in it's a troll, right?
Yeah.
She says, no problem. We'll both be willing to do that. I'm like,
I feel like that's the racism in her showing. She's like, of course this nigga has camels.
Bro, it's crazy. And then like again, the
fuck.
guy just full bullshit's ghost and then posted on this website. So it exposes the girl and everything. It's the funniest
But I'll say this,
shit.
man, because niggas sit around and laugh at this shit. So like, ha ha ha, bro. If a bitch hits you up, talk about, oh, I'm rich as fuck, like I just want you to do some weird shit, bro. Niggas would be jumping out the window.
Bro.
Niggas would be like, I'll do whatever the fuck you want. What are you talking about?
10K?
You're a prince. Let's say she's a prince from I don't want to say Wales. That's like you know, acting like it's Prince Diana or some shit. But princess like from wherever, and she's like, oh, I just like your type of vibe. Like I just want to see you do some crazy shit. Niggas would be like, okay. When and where? Like, so I feel like sometimes we give these females a hard time, but like, bro, even these days they're programmed to go do some shit like that.
But bro, the bag was crazy. It was like $10,000 each for the day, plus they're flying out to Dubai, living
She'd
in
be
like
crazy not to jerk off that camel. She'd be crazy not to, in my opinion.
Bro, it's such a funny Instagram page. Or it was on Instagram, got deleted off Instagram, but then it's like now it's a website, and like it just shows. He's pretty much just saying like, bro, these girls that claim they're quote unquote Instagram models, they're just whores.
There's hoes,
They're
like
just hoes.
high level hoes. But that's cool though, bro, because end of the day, everybody has a price, bro. Everybody has a price, and then people be like fronting to themselves like they don't. And I don't mean to say every single person, but like 95% of people have a price that they'll do the craziest shit for, especially because, bro, like it's easy to act like, oh, I don't want the money when the money's not in your face. But if someone's offering you $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 all at one time, there's a lot that you would do for it.
Nah, bro. I don't know. I'm a man of morals, so I'm not in that conversation when niggas say shit like, how much you just pay? Would you suck a dick for $5 million?
Okay,
like,
yeah, but bro, that's not even what they're females getting asked to do what they already do for free. Not the jerking off a camel, obviously, but if it's like, you know, if it's a female fucking with a dude,
so you're saying just like weird, like heterosexual shit. There's like a price that you'll pay.
What, me?
Not like anybody.
I'm saying most people, yeah. Like I don't want to put myself in that position,
Right,
but when you're put in that position, you will start to think about
Let me
it.
throw you a hypothetical then. Lizzo slides in your DMs, right?
Okay, yeah. I know she got the bag. All right.
She says, Jimmy, I want you to come over. I love you. You look so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. I love small, little, light-skinned niggas like you.
Yeah.
But
I'm expecting this already. I'm expecting her to say that.
But I have a kink.
What's the kink?
I like when guys fuck my rolls.
Oh, I like that too. I like that too. I've been wanting to do that, and I never had a chance to do that, Lizzo. But I'm saying though, before I get out there, I'm trying to get fresh. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need a little per diem. You know what I'm saying?
So
to
you
get
want
fresh.
me to send you like $5,000? Is that enough?
Just send the stuff to my house. Send some Gucci, send some Louis, send a Rollie to my crib. And that's what I'm saying. That's how these girls should be going about it. Before you go and fuck the rolls, just get the money.
Bro.
You wouldn't fuck some Lizzo rolls for like a big bag? What are you talking about?
What if she says I want to film and put it on OnlyFans?
See, now you're taking it a little far, Lizzo. I thought this was a private thing. Me and you're gonna get freaky on the low. Now you're trying to put it out there for everybody. I need some royalties or something off of that.
Bro, that shit's
But you see what I'm saying though?
funny.
Bro, I think a lot of niggas act like, oh, she's a hoe. It's like, my nigga, like if you were her, you would at least very least consider it. Like you're crazy if you wouldn't. Especially like I said, if it's some shit that you do on a regular basis, like I never fucked some rolls before, but like if a bitch was like, oh, I like you, you're my type, da 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 da. Not saying like me exactly where I am right now in my life, right?
Yeah.
But I'm saying just as a young man, not a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, why not? Why not? It sounds fun. It sounds like I'm gonna go travel over here, do some fun shit. Wait, what? Bro, niggas who try to knock these females for that shit, bro. Females are out here having their way, bro. You see them in Dubai and shit. You think they're paying for that shit?
Nope.
No.
And that's the concept of this.
Kudos,
Pay the sponsor.
Kudos.
Who's sponsoring this trip?
The thing is real life niggas aren't really that. I heard a lot of nasty shit about this Dubai shit, but even then I feel like
how like they get shit on their chest.
Yeah, shit on. But even then they're doing that to like the low level hoes because they're flexing on them, and then like they still have the ones that they want to treat like princesses and shit. Don't get it twisted. They're not shitting on every bitch that they fly out to Dubai.
Every bitch that flies out to Dubai thinks that they're gonna be the next princess.
Of course, that's how you get them in the room to shit on them, like you know, like, and I'm sure that's a part of their sick psychological game. They want to see if they can shit on these.
Did you see that shit that happened in the UK? They made a documentary about this guy called the Tinder Swindler.
Yeah. I heard about it. I heard he's a G.
Bro, that shit's crazy. He literally was just like convincing these bitches of all this, like he's so rich, so wealthy, all this shit, and then gets in a crazy situation. She's like, oh, my bank accounts are frozen. You need to send me 20 grand. And the girls are like, okay, you're my man. I'll send you 20 grand.
He's a
He
finesse
takes that 20
kid.
grand, goes to the next shorty, and just spends that 20 grand on it.
Yeah. So what? He's having his way.
Does it over and over and over.
Bro,
again.
if you could do it, go for it. As long as you're not doing nothing illegal, I'm sure.
Well,
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's laws against that, but there shouldn't be.
I also agree. I don't think there should be laws against people getting scammed.
Like when you
common
see
sense should kick in.
Yeah, when you see them webcam hoes scamming people out like $1 million and shit, it's like, my nigga, how dumb are you? Like, you deserve to lose that $1 million. That $1 million, you probably inherited that, and it probably trickles down from slavery. So you deserve to lose that shit, my nigga. If you're that stupid, you're giving a bitch you never met $1 million, even a bitch you met, like what, $1 million, bro. Like what?
Like when people found out like Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate were doing all that cam girl shit, and then they were talking to the girls. And they thought it was like the craziest revolution that guys are talking to these like the cam girls are being spoken by these guys. I'm like, yo, that's common sense. Like, think about any girl you've ever talked to in your life. They cannot hold a conversation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to prompt a conversation, but then these cam girls are holding conversations.
Oh,
right?
So the Tate niggas were actually
they're the ones typing, and the girls are just in front of the camera.
They probably hire niggas to type. That's too tedious.
No, but that's what I'm saying, and that's like the whole. But yeah, game.
especially you find somebody with no life who doesn't have a lot of companionship, who's very lonely. Yeah, they could have a conversation.
Bro,
that's why look at the Manti Te'o thing. Yeah, look at the Manti Te'o thing.
Oh fuck!
Because that dude was just lonely. He had nobody to talk to as a woman, so he was on point with it. Manti Te'o hit him up at 4 a.m. He was like, "Oh yes, I'm here." Because it's like, bro, when you don't have a lot going on, yeah, like of course you're gonna have better conversation than a girl who looks good, has guys trying to create shitty conversations with her 10 times a day that she doesn't want to talk to. Even probably her own family members and shit be acting creepy towards her and shit, and she just doesn't. She's just so put off by conversation and shit. Like, yeah, it makes sense. Like,
bro,
makes
yeah,
sense.
and it's like think about like OnlyFans. Like half the money doesn't even come from like the new pictures. It comes from like these girls responding to DMs and messages. And
yeah,
shit.
yeah, the extra shit. Text. That's why, bro. Even with that OnlyFans shit, I had nothing against OnlyFans, but the girls who are like bending over, sticking your butthole in the air, like. I promise you, nobody wants to see that. It's like, don't put that shit on OnlyFans. If a nigga wants that one-on-one, make him pay for it. But don't be putting that on your own. And I've never even seen a lot of OnlyFans. I just see some people get exposed sometimes, and it's like their buttholes in the air. It's like, I just chill, chill.
I just keep the OnlyFans game because like I was a fan of this old YouTuber named Rice Gum, and that's what he ended up doing. He went and just managed
OnlyFans.
You know, he manages girls on OnlyFans. So like he has like these girls that's
like new age. That's like
shit.
I want to say that's like new age pimping, but it's not quite. But it's practically it's like some Hugh Hefner shit for sure.
I don't know if he does it necessarily or he funds it the whole program, but he was talking about it on one of his streams where he was like, "Bro, if you think you're texting these girls on OnlyFans, you're wrong. Like, there's niggas on the other end of these phones texting you all day, all night.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like
from personal
experience, you're paying to talk to a guy, and then this guy would be like, well, text the girl, be like, yo, Stephanie, your client Jack wants a video from you personally saying something about
100%.
And then that girl will send him the video, and then he sends that video to Jack.
Yeah.
And Jack is like, oh, I'm gonna give this guy $100 for this.
100%. Even aside from the Rice Poppy nigga, whatever the fuck he said his name.
Bro, put some respect on his name.
Rice gum. Sorry, but like, there's a lot of niggas out here like nerdy type internet niggas that understand how that shit works and will actually hit up the OnlyFans girls and say, 100%. I want to help you run your page, monetize it better, and I'll do all that shit for you.
I'll do all the
and
work.
Really
you just
good
post
at
pictures.
Yeah.
I'll do all the work.
There's dudes out here actually. The bitches aren't even finding them. They go find the bitches and say, I'll do that for you. Are you getting too tired of running your OnlyFans? I'll run it for you, which is crazy. But that's a whole nother lane right there. Bro, there's so much ways to make money too. And that's why when I see people robbing people and shit, I'm like, bro, just be creative. Like,
just be creative. There's easier ways.
Yeah.
Like all this Chat GBT shit. Have you seen that?
Chat GBT. No.
So it's like AI. There's like 12 different AI systems that are out here running and shit.
Okay.
And now there's niggas that are taking AI and all these other websites like that, all these different forms of AI like conversation things, and forming them into them working as a business. So they'll be like, if they have to do a PowerPoint about X and they need inputs for this and this put in, they just put it in the AI. Like they punch in like exactly what your employer's asking for into the AI, and they'll put out the whole spreadsheet for you.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And then send it.
I've seen that. And then even people say that you can make brands. There's a guy who put out code for trading, and he made like 60,000 in one day.
Oh, I don't believe that though.
I kind of believe it.
The only reason I don't believe
he had to put in so much code into it, bro. He had to teach it how to trade.
I get that, but the only reason I don't believe that is because the niggas that created this AI, that shit's not new, right? So like they probably had this shit for like 2-3 years, perfecting it to like send it out to public.
Yeah.
The niggas that were creating it would have definitely tried to do something along that sorts of how am I gonna break the stock market?
Bro, they probably
and if they didn't break the what if it comes out that like that whole fucking GME stock thing was based off of this AI shit? That would be crazy. But I'm just saying,
like you said, if
they never found a way to break it.
If consumers are doing it, like you said, the creators has been doing it, and it's like, bro, they're smart enough to know to do it small scale. And if you want to put code into it to don't make too much noise, trade to this cap every day.
That would be crazy.
Get your consistent money. Like, bro, sometimes people would sit back and be like, oh, them niggas would be millionaires. And it's like, bro, a lot of niggas are millionaires.
Bro, there are.
Like, a lot of niggas are sitting back doing the things that we think, oh, no way someone did that. And they are doing that. They're staying behind the scenes. They're not showing their face. And they're becoming millionaires.
No bullshit. I don't know how real this is, but I saw it on like the Instagram Reels that this guy was working 11 stay-at-home jobs at once. Literally had a laptop open for 11 different companies, working a 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So still working 8-hour days, but for 11 different companies, answering emails, doing all that shit. Making $1.2 million a year.
Shit.
For working 11 jobs, 8 hours a week.
Shout out to that guy.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Don't know how real that is, but then if you scale that down, do I think that people are doing that for 3 or 4 jobs? 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And then how much is that? Like, let's say you're making $80,000 each job. Like, you're making 320,000 from 4 jobs. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Kudos to them, man. More power to you.
So it's like, I do believe that, like, a lot of these internet things are real in the sense of, like, how they scale money, but I don't believe a lot of the stock shit, because if you go on YouTube, go on any platform and search, like, trading, you'll only see winners. And that's not how, there's more losers than winners in the stock market. So it's like, you can't just keep saying, this is how you do it, this is how you do it.
But the AI thing, to stick to it, is really interesting. And I think productivity will go up, but then human ingenuity goes down.
If anything, productivity will go down because these can solve everything for you.
That's why productivity goes up. I need a solution to this problem.
Well, that's what they were saying about the fucking Andrew Yang's universal basic income shit, right?
I think that's good.
So that was before COVID.
I think that should happen.
No, but think about it like this, right? That was before COVID. They were saying that everybody should get an X amount of money. Yeah. They said no. But then now CERB and all these stimulus packages and shit came out.
They tested it out.
It wasn't really a test. It was like a reactionary thing to the situation at hand. Yeah. But then from there, productivity went down because everyone was like, why the hell would I go to this $15 an hour job, $20 an hour job when I'm getting this same amount of money?
I'll say 2 things. Okay, with AI, you're going to remember a lot of jobs are going to get lost.
100%.
So they got to think about, how do we still keep the economy going, that people have enough money to give us the money that we're able to accrue, right? If everybody's at home broke because they don't have a job, it doesn't matter if AI is running everything because everyone's going to be poor as fuck. No one's going to be able to afford to line their pockets up with money. So they have to figure out a way to give people enough money that they still want to consume. But if they want to stay home and not work, even better, because we're going to find an AI to replace that job that they're doing.
Think about like your base level jobs, like a receptionist. You don't need a receptionist.
Yeah, you don't really need none of that shit. There's a lot of shit you don't even need, bro. The CEO, I'm sure AI could do that better because the less
you're organizing people,
like the less like human attachment you have to a situation, like the less bias you have, the less actual needs you have. Like you have to go and buy food, clothes, cars, this, that, and the third. An AI would just collect the money and put it back into good use for the company. They'd probably even be a better CEO because they don't have any expenses. There's no overhead for the AI, right?
Yeah. Well, there is an overhead for the AI. I was watching another, like, again, don't know how true this is, but I was watching another video about the cost that runs ChatGPT, and they were saying it's like 0.0003 cents per input, which will convert to almost $3 million a day. That is getting paid to like the Amazon Web Services.
Yeah, the servers, right?
The servers to process all these inquiries. So like anytime you type into it,
but that's just their profit because they don't want to lose. They're not doing this shit for free.
But they are doing it for free. So it's like I don't get.
They're making their money. You said they make like $3 million a day.
No, but the web services. I'm saying that ChatGPT does it for free. Like you don't. If I wanted to go on ChatGPT right now, it's free.
That's like, bro, if I sell you a slave, I know what they're gonna do for you. So I'm including that in the price. I know you're gonna make a certain amount of money off of it.
Yeah, it's like all this shit's just mad.
It's just new age slavery without people being involved. And that's the thing. If you look at it, slavery was actually very natural because rich people wanted to figure out how to get richer, and they figured if we buy people, we could get way richer.
Yeah, me and you have completely different views on slavery. Obviously, we talked about it a bunch, but it's like I think you throw around the word a little too loosely because it's like I get what you're saying in the sense
I'm just saying
that,
literal slaves. Like if you could buy somebody to help you make money, why wouldn't you do that, right? Like I'm not saying that's morally correct. I'm saying if you have no morals stopping you from doing whatever the fuck you want, why wouldn't you go buy
100%.
somebody
It's
to
like
increase your
it's the
productivity?
exact concept of a nanny, right? So it's
Yeah.
like a nanny doesn't just watch your kids; they do your dishes, they do your laundry,
Exactly.
clean your house.
So
like,
morally, bro, so much. Of course, morally, a lot of us aren't gonna want to do that to another person, bro. If it's a robot, everybody's gonna be down with that.
that's what you're
It's
saying.
gonna take. It's
I
gonna
agree
take
with that 100%.
yeah, it's gonna take. You have a high
100%.
moral compass if you feel like, oh, that's not right. I could hire a real person instead of the AI.
But then
It's
you see like that Ex Machina movies and shit, where
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
the
yeah, you
robots
see
come
that.
to life and then
bro, the
just fuck you
Matrix.
up. Like,
For when it comes to the AI, the Matrix is the GOAT, especially Animatrix. That shit will break down exactly what will happen, what will happen with it. And it's just like, fuck, bro, that day is coming. So just be careful.
I don't know. I'm not
a lot of the shit that they talk about is inevitable.
Everybody talks about how they're afraid of like AI and shit. I don't necessarily fear it, but I do see the ramifications coming down the pipeline.
Bro, I don't fear it, but you got to realize why they're better than you. And that's why I was just saying.
No,
it's
of
like,
course.
It's like they don't get distracted by pleasure, comfort, hunger. They don't have to partake in any of those things. So if we let an AI come into our economy, right? Let's say we just put an AI out there and this man's going to start collecting his bread. He's going to start playing with the stock market. It wouldn't take but a year for that AI to have most of the world's wealth. They would be taking out the wealth from the world, and they don't have anything to do with it. They don't need to buy anything.
Again, that's
right?
where I disagree, because like that's what I was saying when the guy was saying he was making programs to play the stock market. Essentially, I don't necessarily think that's true, because to play the stock market, there has to be a loser on the other end. When you're winning,
and
someone else is losing.
People would be losing.
So
real life people would be losing, and the AI would be so much better at it than us. Especially if the programming was right, that they'd be collecting money. And think about it, okay, bro, when you win, you're gonna go and buy a shirt, you're gonna go buy a car, you're gonna go buy a house. When the AI wins, they're just gonna go play more. It's like they become like the house. They'd become like the house quickly.
For gambling,
yeah, quickly they'd become the house, because they have no need to buy anything. They don't even have employees that they would be playing, right? Yeah. And that's what happens in the Animatrix.
That's another end of the spectrum. It's like, yo, this AI shit, it's like,
that's
is somebody that's programming it, right? So it's like right now for ChatGPT in particular, because it's the more famous one. If you put into ChatGPT something basic with like viewpoints that are polarized, like is abortion okay? They will have a line that said, I'm pretty sure ChatGPT says a woman's right it's just a woman's right to choose, blah blah blah.
But that was input into it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So somebody is influencing the AI. So the AI isn't an individual, isn't an autonomous object.
So now you got to think about this. What happens now when they start programming the AI to make AI? And that's where shit gets real scary. Yeah. Right? Because they're not going to put in that bro, that shit is to keep humans safe, to say, oh, women's rights, people have the right over AI and stuff like that. If someone doesn't write that code into it, then you're fucked.
But that code is always going to be written. So like, let's say AI 1 is going to be teaching AI 2, but they're still teaching AI 2 based off the information from AI 1.
Bro, it becomes a slippery, slidey slope.
It does. Especially
once the consumers, the average person, is able to start learning this technology and able to input it themselves, then you get anarchy. Anyone could do anything, right?
Yeah. Yo, I have a crazy conspiracy for you, all right? I want to hear what you think about this one.
Next, I want to get into some funny shit.
Okay.
No, this is a little too heavy.
No. So this is kind of a
tinfoil hat-ish.
You know Aiden Ross, right?
Yeah, I seen him acting spicy.
Nigga's fishy, bro. I have a conspiracy that Aiden Ross became famous strictly based off of Meta. So if we took at the timeline of Aiden Ross's fame, right? This guy was an absolutely nobody playing 2K by himself. Like, yeah, Bronny came. He was playing with Bronny for a bit.
I remember that, but he was always trash at 2K.
His views spiked from like 1,500 to 2,000. Like, he was getting like 2,000 views on Twitch is good. Like, it's a nice solid thing.
He's probably a rich kid. His parents are probably rich.
He is rich. He thought the average salary for Americans are 100,000. He's different.
Yeah.
So let's say he meets up with Bronny on 2K. Has that one moment with LeBron. It's his pin tweet on Twitter and shit. Like, he's a very low end Twitch streamer, right? Yeah. Then he goes into Grand Theft Auto roleplay shit. You seen that shit where niggas are... So GTA roleplay is like they play Grand Theft Auto in a real world. So his world was called SSB World.
Oh, like a private server. Like
it's a private server.
T Grizzly does that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a private server that he runs, and his was called SSB World. It ended up being like the bigger one. So his was SSB World, and there's niggas that are literally like working at Burger King and shit in it. So it's like the Burger King in Grand Theft Auto is a guy behind his Xbox or computer, whatever he's playing
You're
on,
just sitting there waiting.
For people to come in and order food.
Do you literally mean they had niggas working at Burger
They
King?
literally had people working at Burger King. All these stores.
Work at Burger
so there's
King.
no
there's
no AI in the world. There's no like.
How much you getting paid to digitally
They're
work
not
at
getting
Burger
paid.
King?
They're not getting paid.
Nah, you gotta
but they're
pay
part
me.
of the SSP world.
You gotta pay me.
So like
flip burgers digitally. That's low.
So let me take this in. So my theory, my conspiracy on this is, right when that was getting quote unquote big, it blew up, but right before the announcement of Meta.
Yeah.
So Zuckerberg and that shit was switching Facebook into everything to Meta, where there's going to be that exact concept, like role play concept, but in a VR world, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to put a headset on, you're still going to work.
Which I've been saying that's what will take VR over the top. Just a side note.
No.
When you could go and live next to your friend who lives on the other side of the world, and you guys are neighbors, but digitally you're living next to them.
So that's exactly what was happening in Grand Theft Auto. Everybody's living in LA, but nobody lives in LA.
Exactly.
So they're all meeting with these people. So my conspiracy is Zuckerberg promoted the fuck out of Aiden, because then he went from like 2,000 views to 120,000 views.
I believe
in a matter of like 3-4 months.
I don't think that's a conspiracy, bro.
How is that not a conspiracy?
That's the algorithm doing what it's supposed to.
You can't say algorithm.
No, the algorithm, he manipulates the algorithm. Like we just said with the AIs, bro. Once you write that code in, obviously there's someone writing in the code. So he's looking at it like anybody who's doing that type of shit, because even T Grizzly got pretty popular off of it too.
But nobody got his biggest, bro. He became
I agree with you, because he's the most
mainstream
mainstream for sure. When Zuckerberg was going
through
the list of
literally
people,
a nobody.
I know, but he was like, this is the perfect guy. And it's that simple. Like, bro, like sometimes you gotta just like, people like be like, oh, it's a conspiracy, but it's like, bro, that's actually simple business that Mark Zuckerberg should have done that.
No, of course you can put it in the perspective of business, but it's not announced, so it is a conspiracy. When two people conspire against someone for a better outcome for themselves is what
happens all the time. Happens all the time.
So I'm saying, like, bro, the whole blow up of this whole internet, like, Aiden Ross content is based off of, like, in my opinion, an influx of a promotion for Meta, but Meta ended up flopping. And that's
Meta's not gonna flop.
Meta's flopped.
No, it's not, bro.
Look at their stock prices and shit. That shit.
Okay,
flopped.
stock prices, bro. Don't get too caught up in that. Look at the stock prices of Tesla. You think Tesla's gonna be the biggest thing in the world?
Nah.
Okay, so why is their stock price so high?
Because
don't worry about that. That's just about what popular opinion is and trends and shit like that, bro. Give Meta 10 years and watch what the 10-year-olds 10 years from now, how they're gonna be interacting. Well,
that's my whole concept. So Zuckerberg got a kid, Aiden Ross, who was like 18, 19 at the time.
Yeah.
So he can, like, Aiden Ross's community is probably like,
influence the next generation. And like, bro, Ryan's World and all them little kids, they're gonna be right next up on it. Once they figure out good programs. The thing is with the VR shit right now, bro, it's like when video games were first invented and Pong was a thing. It's like, bro, you can see that video games are gonna take over the world, but Pong isn't going to be what takes over the world. That is the baby step. What's going on right now with Meta is baby steps. Once they grow up and start sprinting, you better watch out, bro, because that shit's going to take over the world. Because once you can do something digitally, it's so much more convenient than doing it physically.
Bro, you saw that sandbox shit that was going crazy? Like,
yeah, when they were selling like the real
when
estate.
They were selling real estate.
Even me, I was like, bro, if it's digital, right? Why are you vying for a huge plot of real estate? When it's digital, you can scale things down. You can make it a mini verse, a tiny verse.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter how much space.
But then
so it's like when you saw that, you saw a lot of initial investors getting
like Nike
duped.
Getting into it.
They're getting duped. And that helped. That's gonna help Meta build. And Nike and those places are they're gonna still be big hubs. It's gonna be like you're walking around in like a shopping mall, and the Nike store is gonna be gigantic. It's gonna be like the Great Pyramids of Giza. You're like, what the fuck? But there's also gonna be a little phone booth that you can go into, and it's just as useful. But the thing is that it's not going to be as popular. It's going to be hard for it to become popular because it's just not as eye-catching. But you could do everything the same in there because, like I said, you could scale it down to a teeny verse. And who's stopping you from doing that?
I don't, like, me personally, I don't believe in this fucking shit. Like, I think, like,
a lot of people don't want to believe in it. I don't understand how you can't
it's
believe
not a matter
it. It's inevitable. It's inevitable.
I think a lot of video game players see it. Like, for example, like me, I play video games my whole life. I see that shit, and I understand what they're trying to do. But I don't think it will ever be like. There's so many games that are real, like MMO, so mass multiplayer online games. Like, the world is so like big, so immersive, like so like.
And that's gonna be one door of a million.
Shit gets stale.
That's why I say it'll be one door of a million. Yeah, there's gonna be new stuff coming all the time.
But then it's like but I'm saying the concept of that.
Have you seen Ready Player One?
Yeah,
that's how they should set it up. And I had this idea before I seen the movie. That's why I love the movie so much. You have a hub, like a city, and that's where everybody lives. And me, you, and Mishu, and whoever could go and your brothers, everything. We could all go and live on the same complex. Probably cost you like $5 a house. And we're all living like neighbors, which is sick because as soon as you log in, I go knock on your door. Yo, TJ, come, let's go play some ball hockey in the street. Be little mini games and shit like that. Little pickup basketball. Little shit like Wii Sports. Little shit. But then it's gonna be like, yo, bro, let's go downtown. Let's go to the hub, the sandbox shit. And then from there, it's like, yo, you can go to your favorite MMO. You can go to a NASCAR racing thing. You can go watch a live sporting event. You can go to class. You like, bro, it's gonna get to the point where you're not gonna have to physically go into your university classes because you can just go in the metaverse and it saves everybody money. Saves everybody money. Now they don't have to spend all this money on these buildings. They don't have to worry about security. They don't have to worry about protocols and all this and hiring the teacher to come in every day. They can make an AI be your teacher every day. You could do hands-on stuff. If you're studying to become a surgeon, you could literally go and do the surgery. And this is one door of a million. There's going to be millions and millions and millions of doors that will lead to so many possibilities. And that's what people need to open up their minds to, was why this metaverse shit will change the world. But you have to also think, it's going to be a world inside of our world.
But you have to also think that all these millions and millions and millions of doors, for every good one, there's probably going to be 3 bad ones.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
That's
and those 3
shit.
Bad ones, let's say you hit like
bro,
6, 7 bad
every restaurant out there's 3 bad restaurants for every good restaurant.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, yo,
some people will go out of business. But Meta itself is not going out. The world is not going out of business because of bad restaurant.
Bro, I don't know. It's like, my thing is, I understand your whole analogy when you say, like, you can knock on your friend's door. I think that concept of going to your neighbors to go play a pickup game of basketball or street hockey or whatever,
that's the best part of it,
is the exact concept that video games took away from kids today. So like for me,
yes, and now they're gonna give it back. Exactly.
So for example, for me, my brothers are like 2 and 4 years older than me. They never played video games as much as I did, but like they would always go out with their friends. But then my friends, we all play video games. So like we would go literally all meet up online, play some Halo 3 for hours together. We're still hanging out with each other, still doing like bear bands here, talking stupid shit. Those are still my friends to this day.
Yeah.
From like when I was like 12 years old playing video games.
All I'm saying is that it will enhance that experience.
I don't see how like everybody who was in that experience would deny it, but the people who saw that experience from the outside looking in will try to accept Meta. That's what I see.
My whole thing is like, bro, when you're 7 years old, if you ask a nigga like, yo, bro, when you're older, you're gonna be smoking blunts and getting a lot of pussy, the nigga's gonna be like, I don't want that. You're just not ready for it yet. But once you're exposed to it, you're like, God damn, nigga, this shit is hitting. This shit is hitting.
I don't know, bro.
It's one of those things that you gotta, because you're so, especially for you and your friends, like you said, you're so used to doing it one way. And that's why I said Meta's really gonna get the young kids. When you're 10 years old and that Meta shit's been a part of your whole life, it's not gonna be like, oh, like I'd rather. No, it's gonna be like, this is how I play video games.
No, but video games is different than Meta though. Like Meta's trying to be life.
It won't be.
Meta's trying to be life. Life isn't.
It won't be.
Video games is an escape from life.
Because like you said, bro, I come from a different era, right?
Yeah.
Where we used to go and link up and stuff like that, and we would go link up, play ball, go inside the crib, and play video games for a little bit. I'm telling you now, it's the exact same thing. You're gonna link up, go play ball, and then go play video games for a bit, but you're gonna do it all digitally. And that's what makes it so dangerous.
But I'm saying, you're saying like all 3 steps are digital.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna go knock on your door. We're gonna go and grab all the other kids around the street. You're gonna see 20 BMXs lined up outside the crib because to let you know where everybody's at, and everybody's gonna start pulling up because they know that this is where it's at. And then we're gonna go and make our moves and go play video games and all kind of shit. Probably there'll even be a hub in your crib that you don't even like for sandbox. The sandbox will probably appear as like a digital video game in your digital room where you could go and just play from there. You won't even have to go and walk or drive to the digital place because that's just inconvenient. I'm saying, bro, it's gonna be groundbreaking, man. This is almost like a Meta commercial at this point, though. I'm gonna stop preaching for Meta, but I'm telling you that shit's gonna change the world. Just give it time. 10, 20 years, it'll change the world.
Northern Ruckus, episode 1,500. What is that? 5 years from now? I want some Stan to come pull up this clip and just show Jimmy how wrong he was. All right?
Okay.
This nigga thinks he can tell the future. In the future, when we're still doing this podcast, still doing it, I want someone to bring this clip back up at episode 1,500.
He said 5 years. I said 10, 20 years, and trust me, in 5 years, you will be able to notice how much it shifted.
Nah, bro, this nigga's wrong, bro.
All right. I'll say this, man. I'm very good at actually predicting the future. There's been a lot of times. A lot of my friends will tell you I'm like Jimbo's Damas is what they call me. Like Nostradamus, but Jimbo in front of it. I'll be predicting the future and shit, bro. So don't be sleeping on me.
Bro, I don't know. That's different. But yo, like I don't think you're predicting shit because like yo, this nigga. Well, you did name Toronto the 6th, so like maybe.
And I be seeing artists that are gonna be big and shit. Like that shit I see from a mile away.
All right, so right now on the pod, top 3 artists in the next few years from Toronto.
I don't like to speak on Toronto too much. Honestly, for me right now, not to diss everybody, but I think Toronto music.
This guy just said not to diss everyone.
Not to diss everybody, but I think with the Toronto music, I think guys need to focus on the actual music a little more. I think we have a lot of great artists who could rap, who could put together the product very well, very well. I just think that they need to just focus on the music side of things a little more. But that's
antics?
that. Antics is fine. The antics is fine because it gets you viral. I just think that when you grab people's attention with the antics, the music should be just as good as the antics.
No,
and sometimes it's
that.
kind of falling off, and that's the whole music industry. That's not just Toronto. So even right now, if you ask me about any up and coming artist, I'm gonna say the same thing because I really kind of went back into my shell. I'm older, and I'm listening to a lot of older music right now because it's just like the new stuff is like, bro, you guys know how to get attention. You know how to like package yourselves and make yourselves look like the product, but the music is just
bro. I know exactly what you're saying because there's that one guy in Brampton, I think it was Brampton, where he went into a movie theater in the middle of Avatar and started shooting a music video. And it's like I didn't even heard a single song from that nigga.
Yeah,
but it's like that did get on everybody's attention. Everybody heard about that shit.
And then probably niggas went to go peep him and said this music is shit. Like,
you know who that is or not?
No, I don't know who it is, but I saw that video and that's what I'm saying. The antics is fine, bro. All that's what this generation has so much more than the previous generations, but you guys have the tools for it.
Yeah, there's some funny
the social media and shit. But I think like, bro, just make sure that you're make sure everything's 8 out of 10. I don't care if the music's 10 out of 10. At least make sure it's 8 out of 10. I don't want to be listening to no 5, 6 out of 10 music. It's not gonna happen.
I feel like just for that guy especially, like I don't know who he is, so I'm not trying to speak on his name, but like that, especially an antic that crazy where you know it's like you're doing it for the virality of it, like for it to go viral and shit. You need to drop that video same day.
That
you know
too.
What I mean? If that video came out and then you see like the two perspectives of like the guy in the crowd filming him like disrupting the whole movie, and then him walking in front of the big screen, that would have made the viral clip go even more viral, and then people would actually know the content behind the viral shit, right? Because like even think about when Top 5 did that on the 401, this nigga like blocked the highway and shot a music video in the middle of like rush hour and shit. Like that's crazy, but that got views. And you knew it was Top 5 because he dropped that same video.
And it was coming out right after. He was really good with his content creation. Not a huge fan of his music, but with all the content and all the antics and all that it's like he gave niggas a lot of blueprints almost. He was like the Toronto 6ix9ine almost, like, you know. And that nigga, he knows what he's doing.
He got with fucking DJ Ack and everything.
But even like, hey, let's look at that. The 6ix9ine situation. I know firsthand that he had a lot of writers. And a lot of these artists today, I was like that myself. I felt like, I write all my own shit. Because you hear about a guy like Jay-Z who writes all his own shit.
Doesn't write, bro, off the top.
Yeah, but Jay-Z was never really the hottest artist. If you look back at it, hold on, let me speak. Jay-Z will tell you this himself. Nelly Kane was the hottest. Ludacris Kane was the hottest. T.I., Outkast, 50 Cent, all these people, but he had the longevity that he outlasted them all. That was from good business. It wasn't from his great music. It was from his good business. And he can rap, and he's a rapper. I'm just saying a lot of these guys got to just make sure that the music is a little better. Then you'll really have your time to shine. Because a lot of these guys, bro, you know exactly who they are. They're making a lot of noise, but it's like, can you tell me the hit record they have?
Let me give some pushback to that Jay-Z point, because I've seen shit like that. I've heard that argument before, and I think it's so stupid. Because like that.
Name me a time when Jay-Z was the hottest artist in the game.
Let me break it down then. So I compare that to like LeBron James, right? LeBron James.
No,
LeBron James
has MVPs and shit, bro.
His whole career,
and championships.
Jay-Z has #1 albums and shit.
What number one album?
Bro, Jay-Z.
Show me his number one album.
He has 11 #1 albums, maybe. Or he's sorry.
Bro,
in his song, he says I have 12 #1 albums, maybe now 11. All right, no, 10 #1 albums, maybe now 11. My math is trash. But like he said that in a song on fucking Blueprint 3.
You know to be a #1 album.
Every album before Blueprint 3 was a #1.
Can I speak? He's saying #1 for the week. It's not #1 for the year, my friend.
But that's an MVP.
No,
like he's saying MVPs for
that's
the year?
player of the week. That's like saying I've been player of the week 11 times.
That's a lot of times. But then it's also
11
like
times in a 20-year career.
But then those
I'm not
albums
listen. All I was trying to do was point out something to the kids. I'm not trying to break down Jay-Z and say he's not great. There's different ways of being great, and like you're saying, LeBron James and Jay-Z are very comparable in that longevity. But you had guys like Derrick Rose who came up out of nowhere, and that's KD, a hood legend.
Steph Curry.
Yes, and that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that not everybody could be LeBron James. Sometimes some niggas need to be focused on being Derrick Rose. When it's your time, make sure you're shining during your time.
What I'm saying is LeBron James has so far is a 20-year career, right? 2003, 2013.
LeBron James is the GOAT. What are we talking about?
No, but LeBron James, you can claim he's the GOAT, but then he was like for those 20 years, he was almost never undisputed best.
No.
Exactly.
All his years in Miami, he was undisputed best.
No, he wasn't.
His last few years at Cleveland, he was undisputed best. The last few years where he was in Cleveland going to the finals against Steph Curry and KD and them, undisputed the best. Right now, currently, he's the only 98, and everyone else is a 97 and lower in 2K.
But you're okay. So you're basing up like in real life, in reality, not 2K.
No, in
KD,
reality, fam. In reality, people
there's
know
always
that
a conversation
he's the best,
of
fam.
is LeBron James or so and so better?
A
Is LeBron
conversation
James or Steph
because there's
better?
always
Is
going to be
LeBron James and KD better?
Listen.
That's
Our
not
conversation right
undisputed.
now is getting
That's
a little
literally
dead.
the-
Hold on. I don't want to talk too much about LeBron James. It's undisputed. Everyone knows he's the GOAT.
Oh my
Anyone
God.
who's arguing that just wants to like, especially he's the GOAT of our generation. Anyone who wants to argue that, bro, and bring up niggas like KD and Steph Curry, they just want to bring.
But I'm not
LeBron
arguing
down.
that. I'm arguing the fact that Jay-Z and LeBron are the same. Where there's always going to be a nigga like Nelly, like fucking Kanye.
I agreed with
like,
you. I already
you're not.
that point.
Let me get this out. So it's like these niggas are all comparable to Jay-Z, who you can say these guys dropped an album same year. The numbers are comparable. These guys are doing the same amount of work. Some people got a little buzz in like February. That's more than Jay-Z, shit like that. But it's like the body of work that Jay-Z created throughout his whole career is uncomparable to any of those niggas. And that's the reason why he's the GOAT over them.
That's the whole point that I brought up.
Bro, you said that Jay-Z's not the GOAT.
Can we
said
stop for a
Jay-Z's
second?
not the GOAT.
I don't like when you argue with me and we're both saying the same thing. I never said Jay-Z's not the GOAT. I said Jay-Z is the GOAT, but if you look at it, he was not the hottest rapper the whole time.
But that's
other guys came up and were hotter than him at certain times. So we're saying the same thing. Longevity is more important for sure. That's cool. Focus on that always in your career. Try to be good at what you do for a long time. But what I'm saying to you is that if you have 15 minutes of fame, make sure that your whole product is something that's packageable, sellable, and marketable. That's all I'm saying to the young kids, because not everybody's going to come and be Jay-Z. Some niggas are gonna come and be Outkast. Some niggas are gonna come and be Nelly. And make sure that when you are Nelly and when all the eyes are on you, that you drop hot in here. That you do all the good shit that you're supposed to do. Another example, them Franchise Boys. They were the biggest rappers for 3 weeks. And in those 3 weeks, they dropped 3 hit records. They did what they were supposed to do. And not everybody's gonna get the opportunity to be Jay-Z. That is a very rare. That's a once in a generation type artist.
Monetize while you can.
Monetize while you can, and that's all I'm saying. Is that when you ask me right now, who am I looking at for new artists? I think a lot of these new artists actually are very good at grabbing the spotlight, but they're not good at capitalizing on the moment. And even a lot of them sometimes accidentally get into the moment. Example with that, Ice Spice. She had that hit record. She wasn't anticipating that song being that big because it's not like Dr. Dre produced it.
My nigga on Munch.
That shit was so catchy, and she's just very likable, to be honest. A lot of people started hating on her, which comes with fame. But the reason why she got big so quick is because it's like, yo, this girl's kind of dope. Like,
she just dropped an album actually like this week, and
I saw that. I never
listened to it yet, but
I never listened to it.
But I was talking to my boys, bro, and they were loving it.
These days with music, it's hard to get people to listen. If your boys listen, though, I guess them niggas is munches.
No, my nigga said it's actually like way better than he thought it was gonna be.
She's good. She's talented. Not to toot my own horn. If you go back and look, I was following her way before anybody was. I seen her when she had I think she had 4,000 followers. So it was easy for me to get to follow back, right? But I was just talking to her. I was like, yo, you're actually dope. Like, you're cool. And then less than a month later, Drake hit her up saying the same shit. And then she capitalized off of that and then boom, dropped a hit record. Yeah. But I don't think she anticipated it being that big, bro. It's hard to anticipate that. But hey, look, you said she just dropped a project. She's ready to capitalize on this fame. And that's all you need to do is that when it's your time, just keep going.
Yeah, I don't even think today's day and age, one-hit wonders can literally last a whole career.
Yeah.
So it's I get she doesn't want to be a one-hit wonder. She wants to be an artist, make an album, do all this shit. Good for her. That's not what I'm talking about. Yeah. But for example, the Island Boys. On the Island Boys.
Yeah.
Those niggas are still getting paid off of that one, not even a song. Yeah. Like a snippet. And they're still getting paid off of that shit. So it's there's always ways to monetize your shit. Just make sure you're on top of your game is essentially what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Look for those niches. Don't just try to go viral, but once you do hit a niche, monetize that shit as soon as possible, as long as you can. Yeah. Because that fame's not gonna last forever.
Yeah. And just make sure you're always selling something. That's why you see when people have their tweet go viral, right under it they put, okay, well, I'm actually selling this right now. And that's actually smart. You should do shit like that. Sometimes when we're the last generation, we had this thing we were oh, that's thirsty. But then a good friend of mine a good friend of mine pointed out, I was like, yo, Americans just call that hungry. So a different mentality, you come at it different. It's oh, that's too thirsty. But it's bro, I'm hungry. This is my time right now. I gotta take it. So always come at things with that hungry mentality, and don't worry about looking thirsty because you're just hungry. You're not thirsty.
Yeah, because your opportunities can get opportunity door can close on you no matter what. Yeah, I know you have a fight coming up soon. For this next fight, I need you to get a knockout so we can get a viral clip to post on.
I'm telling you, that's my plan.
You need a viral clip, and then you can monetize the moment. You feel me?
That's true too. Start boxing some of these celebrity niggas. But yeah, I'm going out there just swinging, bro. Because that's one thing I said. I came out too casual in my first fight, thinking it was gonna be a boxing match, and it was just a fucking brawl. So I'm just gonna go out brawling, and I let the chips fall where they are because I could brawl. It's just as a boxer, that's not why I got into it. I didn't go in there to just like some Rocky shit, just bah, 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 bah. I got into it for the sweet science of it, but a lot of people have been telling me like that comes with time. Like you got to wait for people to slow down, be more patient. You got to just go for some knockouts the first 10 fights while you're a novice because it just becomes like rock'em sock'em robots and shit, you know?
Yeah. And then once you get a knockout, you have to get the mic from the ref or the judge and be like, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of you Pauls, you got in next. And then we get you on a Misfit card. Shout out KSI. Yeah. All right, guys. That's been episode 1 of Northern Ruckus.
Yes, sir.
Hope you like it. We're going to be trying to drop this once a week. So give us some feedback on our Instagram and stuff. Follow us at northern.ruckus.
And give us funny comments. Like not funny comments, my fault. Like
Questions.
funny subjects and shit to talk about.
We talk about anything.
We get so caught up talking about just life and shit, and life gets kind of heavy sometimes. But bro, you see some funny shit that you want us to comment on, we'll comment on that.
100%. Hit us up in the DMs, comment on our pictures, leave a like, and subscribe. Be like, we're going to be reading, especially as a startup, we're going to be reading everything. So anything you say, we're going to reach back to you. So well, Northern Ruckus episode 1. Thanks for listening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.